All right, welcome to South Decatur High School, where tonight the Edinburgh Lancers have traveled to South Decatur to take on the Cougars. The Lancers do come into town 0-2, and the Cougars are 1-1 at 500. It's Jim Wall, Zach Little here. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. So what do you think, Zach? What do you think we're going to have tonight, buddy?
I don't know. I mean, coming into the game, looking at Edinburgh and who they've played, I mean, like when we talked to Coach Martin at the junior high game the other night, he said that Edinburgh's been playing their two teams that they played tough, and the other team hasn't pulled away till the fourth quarter. Like Cloverdale and Edinburgh were 12-6 until the fourth quarter, and then Cloverdale scored that final touchdown to make it to the 26th game. And I think it's going to come down to the defensive end and, seeing how Edinburgh's going to adjust and try to stop Corbin.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big thing with any opponent, I think, this year. Man, Corbin Johnson, he's solid, man. I mean, and he's small, like it's in height-wise, but, boy, you stand next to him, I mean, I'm a pretty big guy, even height-wise, and the other way too. But he's solid, and he's strong. So that's a promising thing. In last week's score with 69-0 with Irvington Prep, and not taken away from South Decatur, even Coach Martin. There was talking to Zach and I during the junior high game that we did last week, and he said that that it's not taken away from his boys or anything, but this is a team that just 2 years ago started to 11-on-11. They've been originally playing 8-on-8, right?
Yep.
Okay, and so. I mean, they got the ball first, and right off the bat, the first three plays was penalties. Help me out here, Zach. What are the penalties for?
I believe they were
we sound like we're trying to pull one out.
Illegal procedures.
That's what it was.
Illegal procedures.
And it had three of them in a row.
Yeah.
And it just from there, they didn't really get the ball down the field as far as to the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
So South pretty much stayed there. But everybody got a chance to play. A little bit. Tyler Bishop did come off of the field a little banged up a little bit. I don't know any status on that either, but that I think it'll be a good game. We do know, Edinburgh, they're down.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not taking away anything from South, but they're down, so it'll be a little bit of a different matchup than what we're used to seeing in the past. With Edinburgh and them.
Absolutely.
So real quick, we're going to go over our sponsors. Gillen and Howe Funeral Home, Acra Automotive Group, Buy Right Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Walters Tire, Hamilton Tebby Law Office, Russ Hubler Ford, Levenstein's Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W. Those are your cheer block sponsors. Our first quarter sponsor tonight is H&R Block, and we'll name them again a little later on. Again, if you're just joining us, it's Jim Wall with Zach Luddle. We're bringing you the South Decatur Edinburgh game tonight at South Decatur. And, man, it's been a beautiful week. And tonight, it's warm.
Yeah, I know.
It's warm in here.
And, at least it's not like the week before when it was 116.
I know. And that's one of the reasons why you at home, we didn't actually have that game because it was too hot. The equipment, it was just too hot for the equipment. What was it on the field? We were down there. It was every bit. I mean, still felt almost 100 degrees even after dark.
And,
he was still sweating.
Even though that first quarter took an hour, I'd say at least about 45 minutes into the game, it was still probably maybe about 95 degrees. Yeah.
And do bear with us, too. I want to mention, those of you who are watching at home, the way the field is here with the sun setting in the west, which is right where our press box and where we set up at is facing. So it's going to be a little difficult here in the beginning to see, but as the sun goes down, you will be able to see. I do apologize, but there's nowhere on the other side of the field to set up on. So, because trust me, I think we'd rather be over there on that side in the shade than where we are here. But we're going to take a real quick break. Looks like we're a little under 8 minutes, around 8 minutes to go before game time here. But we'll take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acra Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
All right, we are back here at Ralph Scheibel Field at South Decatur High School, and we want to get in a couple things in here, maybe before the anthem.
From what I've heard, Zach, a little bit about Edinburgh and even from the other games, it's really going to just depend on how we can stay. Now, they look pretty decent size, so they're, you know what I mean, they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is going to be, can we stay with them? We seen in the first game with North, we got kind of winded. And, that's, I think, our big thing. It is hot tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've hydrated up, or they brought some pickle juice for the sideline.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a lot of it. Edinburgh's going to have to stop their run. They're going to have to stop what South can bring to it, because they will bring. So
yeah, and obviously those of you listening on the radio and those of you watching on WTRE, you can see the numbers. Like, South has maybe a couple more kids.
Yeah, and they're pretty even.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a good thing. So we're going to take a real quick break again, and we'll be right back.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy-Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's used car superstore, Buy-Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy-Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
All right, we just wrapped up the national anthem here, ladies and gentlemen.
Getting ready to get into some Friday Night Lights, some football, man.
Nothing better than the Friday Night Lights in the state of Indiana.
Oh, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's exciting. I encourage you. I think at the next game we're going to try to do, which I don't know if I even talked to you about, but September the 20th is the next junior high home game. I think we're going to try to do that game. That way, and I encourage y'all at home, if you haven't watched the junior high team, come out and watch them. We got a lot of promise with that. They were talking defensive line, combined weight of 800 pounds. That's a lot for junior high boys and their 8th graders. So, and then on top of that, we've been watching the youth football, and then the 5th and 6th grade team. Man, they're 3-0. They're doing really well. So that's awesome. So, all right. Well, they're getting ready to go out to the middle and do the coin toss and see what's going to happen. So we're This will be good. So what do you think? How do you think it's going to turn out tonight, Zach? I mean, what's your thoughts as far as even score or even just what the Cougars need to do?
You know, I haven't really watched much film on Edinburgh or have heard much about them other than they've been playing teams tight the whole game. So that has to tell me they have something on defense that they can draw up to possibly stop the run and try to keep Corbin in check tonight. And obviously, Corbin's going to get his yards, no doubt about it. But it's just what the adjustment Coach Martin's going to do, Coach Ahouse, Coach Jarvis, all of them, what they're going to do to try to change up and get the ball moving down the field and put this game away early possibly.
And that's the thing that you want to try to do. You know, our defense, we got to hold them. We got to work on penalties. We've struggled with that our first couple games, and I think if we can get a handle on penalties, that's going to help us out a lot. But not just penalties, but again, I think going back to what I stated earlier, the physicality of the Cougars. You know, they got to come out. They got to. Hopefully, they're hydrated. You know, and both teams are because it's warm. Yes. And even whether you're in the press box or out there, it's warm. There's no wind blowing here, so it's pretty warm. So it looks like Edinburgh is going to receive the ball first tonight. Again, thank everybody for joining us. Thank you to H&R Block, our first quarter sponsor. And it looks like it's going to be McKinley Shook back for the Cougars. Zach, I'm going to let you do your thing, my friend.
All right. So we got two back returning the kick here for the Lancers. And we got McKinley Shook here kicking off here for the Cougars. Puts his hand up. Kick is up. And it's bobbled by the Edinburgh Lancers, but he's got a lane up the middle, and he's
tied up
here by about 4 Cougars. Looks like the first 2 there I saw were Toby Bishop and Alex Myers.
And J.B. Scudder was in on it, and Gasper, man. They all ended up at the end of it. They did what needed to be done. So that's good.
Yeah. So first and 10 here for the Lancers on the 30, and we're going to see what they come out in here to start the drive off. And looks like they're going to go from the shotgun formation here, one back in the backfield to the right of the quarterback, 2 receivers to his right as well. Going to be a fake to the running back, and it's going to go to the wing there.
And Amram was right there to wrap him up, man. Brought him down for a loss. So that's huge, man. This is what we're talking about with defense. This is what South's got to do. They got to come out right now.
Oh, yeah.
They need to hold them and stop them and pound it. You know what I mean? And when they get on offense, man, pound that ball too. I think their running game, they got to let Johnson get a hold of the ball. Actually, I should say, like we called him the last couple of years, the Beast.
The Beast.
Got to let the Beast get the ball because, man, when he busts out, he's gone. That kid is quick.
Second and about 18 here for the Lancers. Quarterback taking the snap from the gun. One back to his left, and he's going to give it to the back, and he's got to try to cut off the end there, and it's fumbled, but the Lancers jump on it.
You know, and on that play, those of you listening on the radio, they didn't be able to see it, and even those of you at home, because I know it's still tough to see. I do apologize with the sun at the moment, but you know, they were right on it and stripped that ball, right out. And the only reason Edinburgh recovered that is because there was 2 Lancers, like, right there.
Yeah.
One being the quarterback and then the other offensive lineman. So, they got lucky in that recovery right there. It would have been South Decatur's ball.
So third and 22 here for the Lancers. Quarterback's going to take the gun out of the snap, back to his right, 2 wide receivers to his right. He's going to fake it to the back, roll to his right, throw to the wing out of the backfield, and he's smashed at the line of scrimmage by, I believe, Owen Areola.
And we didn't talk about him in the beginning, but I'll tell you what, he had a massive game last week. That kid was in every single play.
Yeah.
And you'll hear us mention his name quite a bit tonight. But, yeah, that was a great stop, great hit.
So that brings us to 4th and 22, and it looks like the Lancers are going to punt back deep. I believe that will be possibly Colby Rathburn here. Kicks away. It's pretty decent. And Colby's just going to let it bounce, and it'll go out at about the 46-yard line.
So how about that, man? That's what we were talking about. You got to come out, play solid defense, cause negative yards. I don't think they had any positive gain. And then they turn it over, and, here we are just under – he played 2 minutes and 3 seconds of the first quarter, and we got the ball. This is what you want.
Yeah.
Coming out. Now you need to, score that touchdown, get that momentum. And it's nice because you kind of did that. Now the ball's in your favor.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. McMurray going to go from the gun here with Corbin Johnson beside him. And Corbin's got a hole, and he's taken multiple Lancers on a ride for about a 5-yard gain.
And that started right in the middle, too.
Yeah.
He ran it right in the middle and cut through. I mean, there was all kinds of guys around him. So that's a good, solid run. And that's what they need to do, I feel.
Oh, yeah. And he drugged that one, for you listening on the radio, he drugged the one in the stiff arm. He had him by the helmet and was just dragging him along the way.
Yeah. And that's what you got to do. You got to play that smash mouth. Let the beast out of the cage, bro.
Yeah.
That's what he's got to do.
So 2nd and 5 here for the Cougars, and McMurray's going to give the handoff to Johnson. Johnson's got a hole in a blocker on the right side, and he's going to get taken down by the Lancers after a 1st down on the play.
That's good. Score these touchdowns and then turn around, man, and run that time off the clock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just needed that one extra blocker. He had Toby Bishop pulling from that guard spot. Just needed one extra blocker, and he was gone.
32-yard line.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars on the Lancer 32-yard line. Looks like McMurray's going to go out of the gun here with Corbin Johnson to his left. He's going to motion him. Going to hand it off here to Owen Ariola. Ariola's got a wide open lane on the right side, and it looks like he got tripped up at the last second. Gosh, that kid's sitting there wishing he had that run back.
Yeah. I like seeing them run the ball, and they're using different options.
Yeah.
Zach, I like that, and that's what they got to do. And, don't let, for those of you who haven't seen South Carolina, don't let the passing. They can throw the ball, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We can throw the ball. But it's just something we want to wait throughout the game to do.
Yep.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. McMurray going to get the ball out of the gun, give it to Corbin Johnson, and Corbin Johnson is
oh my gosh,
almost upended, but still somehow fought for an extra yard.
Jumped through the air, and they caught him, and he was still kicking his legs, and his foot caught traction. He pushed forward another yard after that. That kid is unreal, man.
Folks, you listening at home that have not seen this kid play football, this kid is something else.
He is. He's fun to watch, man.
He is.
Because he never stops. I mean, until they literally have the whistle blows, he is going until that whistle blows.
2nd and 6 here for the Cougars, and looks like once again we're going to go out of the gun, but 2 backs in the backfield, Johnson to the right, Bishop to the left, and it's a bad snap, and McMurray just falls on it. Gosh, that's one thing you don't want on these kind of games is mistakes like that when the center does not get it to the quarterback.
Loss of yardage on the play brings up 3rd down and about 14.
3rd and 14 here. That's, gosh, you went from about 3rd and 6 to 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 14 on a bad snap.
And that's what we were talking about earlier in the pregame was the penalties with South. That's what hurts them. It's the silly little penalties like this that gets them.
Yeah. So 3rd and 14 here. McMurray going to get the ball out of the shotgun, and he's going to bootleg out, and he's got a pass. And
it's caught.
Caught by Alex Myers on about the 2-yard line.
Man, and it's weird because he fell and he slid, but he still come back, and the ball just kept his arms on the ground, and it protected the ball, so they caught it. I mean, that like we just said, they can pass the ball too, and it just stinks it was back a little further because he's only, a yard?
About a yard from being in.
Yeah.
So 1st and goal here for the Cougars. McMurray out of the gun, going to give it to Corbin Johnson, and Corbin Johnson just barrels into the touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars.
Number 2, Corbin Johnson on the carry.
That's good. So South comes out, stops them on their first drive with the ball. Edinburgh receiving it, and comes out and scores 6 points on them. So that's what you got to do. That's good, solid right there, man. And that's what we were talking about. You got to play that smash mouth ball, and that's what South needs to do. And folks at home watching and listening, that's what the basis they're building all through the program, and that's what they're doing with all of them. And it's really good, man. It looks pretty promising the next 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
And that kick is up and good by McKinley Shook. So right now, 6:44 left in the first, and 7-0 Cougars. Will be right back.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, we are back here at Ralph Scheibel Field at South Decatur High School, and your Cougars lead 7-0 with 6:44 to go in the first quarter. And Jim, I'll tell you what, that's the start the Cougars wanted right there.
Well, it is, and you look at the time, like going with the time, Edinburgh received the ball first, and 2 minutes, South had it, used up 4 minutes, and here we are, and that's kind of what you want to do. You got 6 minutes right there the first quarter, and you're up 7-0.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Edinburgh might wear it down a little bit from even the way it looks.
Oh, yeah.
If they keep running that ball, too.
So McKinley Shook going to kick off here for the Cougars. You got 2 Lancers back deep. I believe that's number 10, Jackson Hartwell, and a 20. And it's wow. That's going to be a touchback.
Yep.
By rule, the ball will be placed.
So that's all right. I mean, even with that, man, you just got to play that solid defense.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And, way South looked, earlier on that first run, that drive was good.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 here for the Lancers from their own 20. And they're going to line up in the gun, one back to the left of the quarterback. And he's going to fake the handoff to the running back, and he's got a receiver down the middle for about a 9-yard catch.
Alex Meyer almost tipped that. Did you see him?
He did.
Almost tipped it. And I almost looked like he was going to get in between. If he had a better position on him, been in front of him, he'd intercepted that ball.
Yeah.
Straight, intercepted it.
Correction on my end, that is a first down for the Lancers. I thought he was maybe about a yard short.
Oh, I did too.
So 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Ball on the 31. They're going to go out of the gun here, running back to the left, and 2 receivers split to the left side. Going to get the ball, and he's going to hand it off to his running back, and he's got a little bit of green.
Oh.
And we got 2 flags flying on the far side of the field.
However, we have multiple flags.
Face mask, it looks like they're saying. That's not good. Again, I think that right there is going to be the most detrimental thing for South tonight. Honestly, out of everything we saw in the first couple possessions.
Personal foul.
Yeah.
Call against
Gosh.
That'll be 15 yards.
It's a 15-yard penalty there. That's not.
And that will be good enough for a Lancer first down.
That's not what you want.
Ball on their own 46-yard line.
Just want to say, those of you listening and watching on YouTube, I'm sorry if you hear me sniffing. I got getting over a sinus infection here. So first and 10 for the Lancers.
You're a trooper, man.
And the Lancers going to go out of gun and give it to the running back, and he's got a little bit of green, but he's wrestled down by Owen Ariola. There's that man again.
Yeah, that name.
Number 6, Owen Ariola.
That kid, he was clear across the field lined up.
Yeah.
He opposite field come across and made that tackle.
And you got to give that kid credit. He missed all of last year with that shoulder injury, and now he's got that chip on his back that he wants to go out there and prove himself.
Absolutely.
So 2nd and 9 here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun once again. Running back to the left of the quarterback. 2 receivers split to the left. And he's going to fake it to the running back, drop back. He's got a man wide open on the close side of the field, and he's wrapped up by Campbell Johanneman and Colby Rathburn after about a gain of 8, I would say.
They're moving the ball down the field pretty good, too.
Yep. Looks like they did give him the first down on that one, too.
I'm grabbing a seat this time, Zach.
So 1st and 10 here for the Lancers. Ball on the Cougar 47, and they are moving down the field this time. Lancers are going to go out of the gun here, back to the left of the quarterback here. He's going to get the snap and give it to the back, and he's brought down in the backfield.
Oh, my gosh.
But looks like a flag.
It's going to be a horse collar.
And that would be a horse collar on Tyler Bishop. Looks like that's what they're going to call. Man, that's just one of them plays Tyler got through there.
That's 2 15-yard penalties they've got on 2 plays. And this is what we were talking about.
Yep.
We mentioned it earlier. The penalties is what's going to hurt them.
And you got to hate it because Tyler flew through there and had him in the backfield, but the horse collar just threw it all away.
And I think it was, I get it, man. You try to, you get aggressive because you're excited and that kind of thing. It's just, but still, you can't do that because he had him negative filled.
Yeah.
They would have been second like 15.
So second and 2 here. And the Lancers are just going to give it to the back. And looks like he's got the first down. I can't see because of the sun over here.
He's a little short of it, I think. I don't know. They gave him a good spot.
Holding against the Lancers here. So that's going to back them up. And now if you're the Cougars, this is where you want to take charge. You had a penalty go against you the previous play, and now they have a penalty go against them.
Yeah, but, I know I agree with you 100%, but those penalties, you don't want penalties, period. But when you give up those kind of penalties or 15-yarders, that's 30 yards you just gave them, and there was no reason for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But now you got them backed up behind the chains.
Which is good.
Yes. So second and about 13 here. Second and 12, sorry. Here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun. Going to hand it to the back, and he's going to go back to the right or the left here. Sorry, he's cut back to the right, and he's got Greenfield ahead of him. And he's still not taken down, and the whole team is over there. They finally take him down after going about 20 yards in total coming from the left side to the right side of the field.
There's a flag on the field. Illegal block in the back called against the Lancers.
We got a legal block in the back against the Lancers, and that's going to kill them once again.
And that's the thing, Zach. Penalties will hurt you. Right now, actually, we're going in our favor because with what we've had, the last 2 before that. So
second and 12 here for the Lancers. They're going to take the snap out of the gun back to the left. Bad snap, and the quarterback's going to roll to the right. A little dump pass to nobody. Other than about 4 Cougars.
Yeah, so, it's going good for them now. I just anxious to see our defense has got to do it. But then again, like we've talked in the past, a lot of these boys are playing both sides. So it looks like – okay, so the clock stops because an incomplete pass. So it's 2nd 12. Ball's on the 45.
3rd and 12, it looks like.
Oh, I was looking there. They just changed it. Okay.
The wrong, yeah. So the Lancers are going to get the ball out of the gun once again. Going to hand off, and another handoff over here to the wing. And he's got some Greenfield ahead of him, but Owen Areola misses him, and J.P. Scudder finally comes up with the tackle.
James Bennett on the carry on the end around for the Lancers. That carry good for a Lancer first down. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball spotted on
So that's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Ball on the Cougar about 24-yard line. And on that play there, if Owen had him wrapped up, then they maybe stopped that first down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it looks like the Lancers are going to go out of the gun again. That might be their whole offense out of the gun. One back to the left, going to give it to the back, and he's got a hole once again, but he's stopped.
Wow.
After about a
That was Corbin Johnson. He straight ran in. It looked like a wall, man.
Yeah. Stopped him after about maybe a 1 yard gain.
Number 13 on the carry for the Lancers. Brings up 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9 here for the Lancers. And just
That's not good. Corbin Johnson's down over here on the side.
I think he's got cramps. So the Lancers are going to go out of the gun once again, one back to the left, and it's going to be a fake handoff to a receiver wide open on the
That's Rathburn.
close sideline, and Colby Rathburn drags him down.
To number 5, Jared Myers.
And Cougar fans, looks like
Brings up 3rd down
Corbin
and
is
about
good.
4.
For those of you listening on the radio, he is back up on his feet and drinking some water. Maybe Coach Martin will give him a rest here for offense.
Yeah, we'll see. Depending on what we can do, we need to stop them, though. It's 3rd and 4, ball's on the 19. Still in the first quarter, 1:45. Shotgun. The Lancers hike back, handoff. And he's brought down by
Looks like Leighton Ponsler.
Leighton Ponsler without tackle.
Remaining on the carry. Flags on the field. Tackle made
All
by
right.
number 64.
That's good. I mean, we got to stop him, Zach. That's what we got to do. Was there a flag?
Yeah, there was a flag.
Holding
Holding.
against.
So that's going to back them up again. And the Cougars are catching breaks here. They need to have that mentality, bend but don't break.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to bring it back to about the what? 28?
Brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, about the 28-yard line here.
14.
3rd and 14, balls on 28. Go ahead, Zach.
Lancers going to take the snap out of the gun, one back to the left, 2 receivers split to the left here. Going to hand off to the back, and he's got two linemen pulling with him, but that does not matter.
Number 10, Jackson
That
Ball on the carry
is
for the
Ian
Lancers.
Amrine and Owen Ariola coming up with the tackle on the back, not even getting past the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made on the
And that's good.
play.
That's what you got to do. You got to stop them.
Ian Ambrine brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and
What-
and Ian's a pretty physical guy.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, whether it's at the 50-yard line or you're at the 20-yard line, you just got to stop them.
Yeah.
You got to stop them. And South has been doing that right now. So, and Edinburgh is starting to look a little winded.
Yeah.
It's under a minute to go in the first quarter. Go ahead, Zach.
So the Lancers going to take the snap from the gun here, but looks like their tight end went too early. False start here. That's going to back them up once again. So everything was going good for the Lancers from the kick, but then ever since they got onto the Cougar side of the 50, it's just been downhill.
Yeah, they haven't really done much. I mean, they've had a couple good passes and things, but then once they make them completions, get the ball moved, and
They get
it's
2 penalties.
They get 2 penalties. I mean, the ball now is on the. It's hard to tell. I think the 34-yard line. So we'll see what they're going to do. I'm assuming they're going to punt the ball, but
Yeah, I don't know if they have anybody that could kick that long of a field goal.
probably not. It's kind of rare in high school that you
Yeah.
see it. I've heard of some, though, buddy. There's been a few of them.
So it looks like they're actually going to go for it here on 4th down, and they're going to take the snap from the gun here. Going to be a fake to the back. Got a guy down the middle, and it's intercepted by Alex Myers,
There's a flag back
but
here,
there's
too.
a flag. And fans, that's not what we really want to see, because he just took that back to the house for a touchdown.
Well, they just look back, and that's
18, Caleb Murphy's pass throw and intercepted to number 24, Alex Myers. There is a flag on the field. Near the
See what they call
40-yard
here.
line.
Looks like they're coming over to Coach Martin, so it looks like it's on the Lancers.
Yeah, holding. There you
And
go.
they're going to give it to the Cougars here. And the Cougars score once again. For those of you listening on the radio, Alex Myers
That's a
jumped
pick
the
six.
pass and took it back to the house for a pick six. He
Yeah,
read
he
it.
did.
He read it right out of the quarterback's hands and stepped in front of the receiver and just took off.
And, man, I'll tell you what, that was something. He read it perfectly. Remember earlier how we were talking and they were saying, you know, what they're doing how they were cutting across in the middle of it. And we said he almost got it. If he'd have been positioned in the front, well, that time he did.
Yeah.
And then he did cut and juke a little bit. That wasn't just a straight run up the side. He had to move.
Yeah.
So the extra point, getting ready to kick for McKinley Shook here. And it is, it hit the post and bounced back. So it's no good. So it's 13-0, 25 seconds left here in the first quarter. Your South Decatur Cougars are leading the Edinburgh Lancers. We'll be back.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy-Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's used car superstore, Buy-Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy-Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
All right, we're back here at South Decatur High School. Your Cougars lead 13-0 with 25 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And we're going to have McKinley Shook kicking off here.
That's a first quarter. How you want to start a first quarter out if you're Cougars? You know what I mean? They've done well. And defense is looking pretty good. They've given up a few penalties. But his kick's up. And it's back, and it's caught by the Lancers. And he's going to be taken down by a slew of Cougars at about the 30 or the 29, it looks like. So that's not too bad. 19 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
And like you said, that's kind of the perfect script you wanted to start the first quarter. I mean, going up 13-0, going into the second, and
you want to keep putting the points on the board. That's what you got to do. And as a defense, you got to play solid defense. You know, I mean, we can't. Penalties are just hurting us right now, big time. But I mean, even with the score, don't reflect it. But still, as a coach, I guarantee you talk to Coach Martin, that's what he's going to say.
So we got 1st and 10 here for the Lancers. Looks like we got a timeout here by Edinburgh.
We'll take this time real quick to thank our sponsors. We have first quarter sponsor H&R Block. Thank you for sponsoring us this quarter. Gillen and Howe Funeral Home, Acre Automotive Group, Buy-Right Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Walters Tires, Hamilton Tebby Law Office. Cheerbox sponsors are Russ Hubler Ford, Levenstein's Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W. Thank you for sponsoring us. It's been a good first quarter, you Cougar fan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and a little bit of areas we need to really work on, but there's also areas that they're doing all right in. You know what I mean? They're solid and still doing what they need to do. So they're just going to play solid defense even now.
Yeah, and that's like I said earlier, they got to, the whole game, any game you go into, you got to have the mentality of bend but don't break, which means you don't want the other team to score a touchdown. Right,
and two, you got to hope this doesn't, not that it really will, but affect McMurray a little bit. You know what I mean? Not being out there, but if you're a quarterback, this is what you like.
So the Lancers going to take the snap out of the gun, and it's going to be a end around, and the one that got the end around just kind of fell as he caught the ball. So it's going to be a loss of yards, 2nd and 13 here. and time's going to expire on that play there. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's Used Car Superstore, Buy Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's Used Car Superstore.
We are back here at Ralph Scheibel Field at South Decatur High School, getting ready to start the second quarter where your Cougars lead 13-0. And I want to give a shout out here to our second quarter sponsor, Decatur County Memorial Hospital. We thank you and appreciate you for all that you do. Jim, hopefully, the second quarter kind of ends up like it was the first quarter.
Yeah, and a positive thing, South's going to come back at halftime and they get the ball beginning of halftime. So that's a positive thing too. But, yeah, they need to play good, play solid defense. If they play solid defense, hold them. I don't have no doubt about our offense. I just think that, our defense, hold them. And they're going to think twice about throwing it, but then you eliminate a lot, So we'll see.
So Lancers take the ball from the gun on 2nd and 12, and they're going to give it to the running back, and he's got some green grass ahead of him, but he fights forward for some extra yards, about a 13-yard run, so he picks up the first down on the play.
And that's what I mean. You got to hold him. You got to read this stuff.
And to Coach Ahouse, the defensive coordinator for South, he's a smart guy. He'll definitely come through and make his adjustments when they're needed.
Yeah. And that's what they got to do. I mean, and that's, as a team, that's what you got to do. And you figure it out as the game goes on and you see it and make them adjustments. It works.
So first and 10 here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun, one back to the right, fake handoff to him. And he's going to pass over here to the close side, but it's incomplete. Just threw it a little bit ahead of his receiver there off the hands.
And again, that's what you're forcing them. They're second guessing. They're thinking a little bit about throwing it and passing it.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to want to know where Alex Myers at. You know what I mean? That quarterback, Coach probably told him, you got to remember where that kid's at. Because he come shooting up through there, man, very quick.
And for those of you listening, Alex Myers is about 6'4", playing safety, so it's kind of hard to throw over him.
Yeah.
Lancer's going to take the ball out of the gun, hand off here to the running back on their sideline, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds by, it looks like, Layden Ponsler. It's hard to see looking through that sun, looking at who's tackling who.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Lancers. Ball almost to midfield.
It's pretty nice, too. There's a good crowd here, man.
Yes, absolutely. Lancer's going to go out of the gun, one back to the left of the quarterback. Going to hand it off to him, and he's taken down in the backfield by Tyler Bishop, but there is a flag down on the play. Holding against the Lancers here, so that's going to back him up even more after being taken down in the backfield. And if you're a Cougar, that's one of them plays that you absolutely love. You tackle them for a loss, and then you just back them up more with the holding.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to do that. And if you do continue to do that, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to adjust from it, and it gets frustrating after a while, So you try to do what you can do, but so they
holding called against Edinburgh. Penalty's been declined. Result of the play is 4th down and 10.
So it looks like Coach Martin declined it. So we got 4th and 10 here for the Lancers. And we're going to see if they're going to punt here. No. Looks like they're going to go for it here.
I wonder if they just don't have nobody can kick the ball, really.
They're going to go out of the gun, one back to the left. Going to fake it to the back. Tyler Bishop almost gets there, but the quarterback just throws it 5 yards ahead of his receiver, incomplete.
So turnover on downs.
Turnover on downs, and the Cougars are going to take over on their own 47.
Which is, if you're being a Cougar fan, man, that's what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way they've been playing, moving the ball, can't ask for nothing better.
Tell you what, man, we set up over here in this little room. We should have been over here. It's like 10-degree difference over here, buddy. Remember my Milwaukee fan next time. That way we can stay cool. It's almost shaded over here anyway, but good night for football.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. McMurray from the gun. Going to motion Corbin Johnson, and it's a handoff here to Owen Ariola, and he's got some space. And he's upended on the play by a Lancer after about almost 20 yards on the play.
That's good. When you can go from one guy to the other, use somebody else because they're going to be watching Corbin Johnson.
Yeah.
So when you can bring somebody out like, we'll do that, man. It's solid. That's promising. That's what you do.
And for those of you listening on the radio here, I mean, Owen Ariola is just about as big as Corbin but taller.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's two guys coming at you that same size.
Oh, yeah.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. McMurray going to hand the ball off to Corbin Johnson.
Oh, and he got tripped up.
He got tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. That's one of the very few times you will ever see that happen.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often at all.
And he's just one of those guys that always keeps his feet moving, so it's hard to take him down.
Yeah, and that's a positive thing. That's just like earlier when Ariola had that run just for 20 yards. The only way that guy brought him down was tripping him up.
Yeah.
I mean, literally tripping him up, falling in front of him. So that's all you can do with them guys, especially when they're quick like that and they're solid and they're strong physically.
So 2nd and 12 here for the Cougars, and it's going to be a handoff here to Corbin Johnson. And he's going to get pushed from behind by a Lancer. And if you're an Edinburgh coach, you're telling your player, why are you doing that?
Yeah. Especially not pushing him in the direction that it's going to get him a 1st down.
So 3rd and 11 here for the Cougars. Looks like they're kind of stalling on this drive a little bit.
Yeah. And but still I wouldn't put it past, if they can gain some yards, Shook's got a leg on him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So we'll see how that goes, but it's not what you want. Obviously you want touchdowns. So Murray back in the shotgun, drops off the far side, pass all the way down the field to Ariola. And it's caught still, and he was bobbled, touched, and caught by Ariola. Wow. He tipped that kid, got his hand in there, he bobbled it, still pulled it in. That's what you need.
And
that was great.
As a wide receiver coach, that makes you happy because they always preach hand-eye coordination, never take your eyes off the ball.
And, man, he didn't, and he bobbled it and took it in. So as of now, until the extra point kick, it is South Decatur 19. Edinburgh 0. We're just under 9 minutes in the second quarter.
Looks like Coach Martin wants to go for 2 here, make it 21.
You know what? I would. Try it out, man. See what they can do. Go ahead, Zach.
So McMurray going to come out of the gun, bobbled snap, and he just got taken down in the backfield. So 2-point conversion was no good there. So your score still remains Cougars 19, Edinburgh 0 with 8:43 to go in the second quarter. And we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
All right, we are back here at South Decatur High School. South Decatur leads 19-0 here, and it's been a really good start for the Cougars here.
It has. I mean, they've, with the exception of a few penalties in the first half that were unsportsmanlike conduct, so that takes you, that's 30 yards worth of penalties right there. So, but it's okay. They held on to him, stopped the ball, and ultimately now you see him with a touchdown pass from McMurray to Areola. So you got a 19-0 lead with just under 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. So that's pretty good. So McKinley Shook is back to kick off. Lancers are way deep. He ends up and he kicks it. Man, that kid's got a leg on him. Over to the side of the field, he catches the ball and is sitting on about the 2. He runs it up. Got a couple of Cougars. Spin move. It's fumbled. And South got it.
You know who got on that one? Jalen McMurray. That's your quarterback jumping on the ball for a fumble.
And you know what it was? You know what it was? He's tired of standing on the sideline and not getting to get in there and play. He had that pass the last time. Guess what, man? I'm going to get this fumble recovery. We're going to get this ball back right here, and we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So, hey, cahoots, man, to Jalen McMurray, big play right there on the – he was juking and spinning, and if he'd have got around the one defender, man, it was open field. It was open field in front of him. So
just the way these boys have been playing defense, I think Coach Martin told them to be aggressive, punch the ball out.
Got to.
Force them to force the ball over to us.
Yep, and that's what happened. They're going to have the ball on the 25. Go ahead, Zach.
So McMurray going to get the ball out of the gun. He's going to pitch it to Corbin Johnson, and he makes a move, makes a defender miss, makes another one miss. Leaps over Lancer, and he's in for the touchdown.
Wow.
My goodness, folks. That looked like prime Barry.
Man, that right there was like your almost a top 10 on ESPN, and I'm not just saying that. Like that kid, he literally hurdled the kid into the end zone.
And when I tell you that kid just hurdled him, he wasn't falling forward or anything. He kept his footing and just walked in.
What happened? We had a penalty. Oh, no. I said a holding penalty against South. Oh, and it takes that run away.
And if I'm Corbin, I'm mad.
But you know what, man? 3 seconds, you're mad, and you got it right now. Do it again. Smash mouth right in.
Yeah.
Take it in there. So,
First
so
and 10
close.
From the 11 for the Cougars here. And McMurray's going to take it out of the gun and hand it off to Owen Areola. And he's going to fight forward for some yards. Tyler Bishop. It's just so hard now that everybody switched numbers this year.
Yeah. Yep. That stinks, you know what I mean? And as a running back, you fought so hard and did all that. But, he's got a good head on his shoulders, man. He remembers that, thinks about it. And all it's about with him is winning the game and scoring, whatever he's got to do. So
yeah. So McMurray going to take the ball out of the gun, 2 backs in the backfield with him, and he gives it to Tyler Bishop. And Tyler Bishop fights for about a yard or 2. So 3rd and 2 here for the Cougars on the 5. Looking to add another score here in the second quarter. And you got to think maybe they give it here to Corbin Johnson.
Yeah, you'd think they'd give it to somebody like that.
And he does just that. And
he was right on him.
Bounced off of one tackler but got brought down from behind.
And you know what, right now, if I'm South, I'll be real with you, man. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
It's going to be 4th and 2, and the ball's on, what is it, the 4-yard line?
Brings up 4th down and about a yard.
So, I mean, I would go for it, bud. And then because if you don't get it, look at where the ball is.
Yeah.
You can push them back and get a safety. You force them to have negative yards.
Yep.
And McMurray's out there, so.
And he's not really a slow guy himself at quarterback. He can take it and go.
Oh, he's quick. Yeah, he can move for sure.
So McMurray going to take the ball out of the gun, and he's going to drop back and pass it to Alex Myers, I believe.
Got it.
And he's got another touchdown.
Offense and defense, man. That's what you need.
So that makes the score 25-0 in the second quarter here. Looks like the Cougars are picking up where they left off from last week.
So you go for one or two.
I think
he's going to go for
Coach
two.
Martin's going to go for two. I see McMurray jogging onto the field here. And that's just that thing where you're up 25, you want to make it 27, so then you're comfortable. And if you score another one in the before half, then you'll have a running clock to start the second half.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. Look. Oh. Man, it took 4 of Edinburgh players to get him. That was Rathburn. And that's all right, 25. I mean, it's okay.
So that 2-point conversion was no good there for the Cougars. Rathburn just got swallowed up. And he's another one of those kids. You guys have probably heard his name from basketball season. He's a three-sport athlete here at South Decatur, and those kids work night in and night out to be in perfect shape.
And that's, and sometimes it can hurt you being a three-sport athlete. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it can. Or it benefits and helps kids, and it surely does help, these kids. So
yeah, and from a school like South Decatur, if you have kids that play 3 sports, they're going to get a scholarship in one of those 3 sports.
Right. Let's take this time real quick, Zach. Thank our sponsors.
So we are going to thank our sponsors here. Yep. Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, Acre Automotive Group, By-Ride Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Walters Tire, Hamilton and Tebby Law. Our cheer block sponsors, Russ Hubler Ford, Levenstein's Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W. Thank you to all of you guys for your sponsors.
Yep. We appreciate it. Second quarter sponsor was
Decatur County Memorial Hospital.
Awesome. So we appreciate you sponsoring. I will say we are looking for a third quarter sponsor, so anybody out there would like to sponsor third quarter would be great. Kenley Shook's kick is up. And they catch it. Nope. Backward pass. And he's going to find some yards.
And I'll tell you what, Jim. That should be a flag on that returner from Edinburgh because he didn't have his mouthpiece in. When I played, that was a flag because you didn't have your face or your mouthpiece in.
Yeah.
Because it's safety equipment.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's it's one of them things where that you need it in there for safety anyway. You don't want your mouth busted up or anything, but
yeah, and I've seen multiple kids where they've come out of the game from not having their mouthpiece in and they're just bleeding from their mouth because they got hit so hard.
Yep. So they took another timeout, so we'll take this time and take a commercial break. We'll be right back. Scores 25-0. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. South Decatur over Edinburgh.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
All right, we are back here at South Decatur High School. Cougars lead 25-0 in the second quarter. 6:10 left to go here in the first half. And it's just been the Cougars show here already.
Yeah. And everything that we said that they needed to do, from watching their past games, and they've done it really well. So
Lancer's going to take the snap from the gun, no back in the backfield, and it's going to be a handoff here to running back coming from the side. And he runs through Kobe Rathburn over there on the far sideline.
Number 21, Connor Ramey on the carry for the Lancers. Tackle made, number 30, Kobe.
So that was still a good. That was still a good tackle. Knockout, but Rathburn looks a little winded.
Yeah, that looked like a hard hit. I mean, he hit him in the back, and he just flew to the sideline.
Yeah, that's weird, man. And that's not what you want.
Yep. So we got about second and 7 here for the Lancers. No back in the backfield. Quarterback taking it from the gun, and he just hands it off to his tailback.
Oof.
And Toby Bishop just comes from his defensive line spot and just takes him down from behind.
Toby Bishop.
I didn't know if Rathburn was hurt or something, but he's fixing his socks.
Gain of 6 on the play brings up 3rd down and
Tell you
2.
what, I do give Edinburgh credit. They're out here fighting.
They are. I mean, you listen. You're going to have something even from years ago when we and Dad and Josh broadcast the games, and when you go to Edinburgh. I mean, they were tough. That's years ago, and you're always going to have some sort of toughness, and they're going to have down years.
Yeah. So third and about 2 here for the Lancers. No back in the backfield. Motion and an end around here, and he's got green grass on the far side, and he's upended by Kobe Rathburn.
Man, what a hit!
Man, that kid, he really wants some of the tackling duties tonight too.
Kobe Rathburn, that carry good.
But man, that's what you want to see your guys doing.
Yeah.
Zach, you want to see. You played football. You know that. That's what you want to see your boys doing. Is that?
Yep. And every defensive coach preaches 11 cats to the ball at all times.
Yeah. Yep. And they've been doing well, man. I just hope they don't let up, even coming out of the.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Be 3rd down and 5 from the 40.
So what do we have?
I believe we had a flag on the Lancers, so they backed them up to 3rd and 5, so that negated their first down. And it looks like they got maybe 2 running backs that came in for Edinburgh, so it looks like they might try to run the ball here. Edinburgh's going to take it from the gun, one back to the left, and they're going to call a timeout, almost a delay of game there.
Yeah.
Timeout, Edinburgh.
I think they're just trying to pull south offside. So let's go ahead and take another break. We'll come right back.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg. Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, back here at South Decatur High School. The Cougars lead here in the second quarter, 25-0, with 4:37 to go in the quarter, and the Lancers have the ball.
And then we'll also see, South can hold them and put 10 more points up, then you have a running clock.
Yeah.
The rest of the
Third
game.
down and 5 for the Lancers at their own 40.
So 3rd and 5 here for the Lancers. Quarterback taking the ball from the gun here. And he's going to motion his running back over, and he's going to just juke left and right of all the Cougars, and he's finally taken down
Number 21
on the far side of the field.
carry for the Lancers.
And I don't know if they're going to give him the first down or not. They are. They're going to give him the first down. He got wrestled right at the white chalk.
First down. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 45.
So 1st and 10 from the 45 here.
And it's going to be interesting to see, man. I think they, we're seeing it with Edinburgh. They really are wearing down.
Yeah.
And, we're not even to halftime yet. So I think it's going to affect them into the next quarter. Oh, Ariel's chin's taped up. They got the ball running. Oh, it's almost stripped away. Looks about a 8-yard gain.
Yeah, looked like Ian Amrine just tried to come in and rip the ball out of the running back's hands there, but he just missed. And after watching that play, I can definitely tell Coach Martin wanted him to be really aggressive this week. Because not a lot of defensive linemen do that. That's more the linebackers and safeties.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, you'll see. It's interesting, though. I mean, to see, the thought process on some of this stuff.
So 2nd and about 1 here for the Lancers. Taking the snap out of the gun.
Ooh.
Bad snap, and the quarterback just falls on it. So it looks like Cougars need to take over that momentum from that bad snap here and just get a stop and get the ball back before half and maybe score again.
Yeah, and that'd be great. Ideally, that's what you want, but I think Edinburgh's trying to do all they can to get this quarter over with.
Yeah.
That's what you want. But then again, too, South comes back in second half with the ball. So
3rd and 6 here for the Lancers, and then quarterback's going to drop back to pass. He's got a receiver wide open in the middle of the field, but
no, he didn't.
He caught it, but it from our angle up here.
Number 24, Elijah Bryant.
It's going against the. Looks like it's going. Coming back.
Yeah.
Yep, holding. And you see, those of you listening on the radio, we saw a bunch of the Lancers throwing their hands in the air because they knew that's like their 7th or 8th holding call this game.
Well, and it's frustrating when you get, the ball moving and you were downfield toward the end zone where you're wanting to go. Now you're clear back here on the opposite side of the field. It's frustrating. So get the ball 39.
So that's gonna back them up behind the chains.
It'll be 3rd down and 16.
3rd and 16 for the Lancers here. And you got to think, if I'm Alex Myers playing safety back there, I'm playing the chains for a pass. Lancers going to get the ball out of the gun, and they do indeed drop back the pass. And he's got a receiver, caught it for about 10 yards maybe.
Kevin Garcia.
So they pick up 10 on that play, but it's still going to bring up 4th down.
Colby Rathburn.
Well, and I tell you now, they'll go for it.
Yeah.
That's what we've seen, and they will.
Gain of 8 on the play brings up 4th down and 8.
So 4th and 8 here. And Jim, they're doing something we haven't seen them do this game. They're punting the ball.
Really? Wow.
And our defense just stayed out there, so Alex Myers is back deep to get the kick.
No, he's going to run it.
He's going to fake it. And he's not going to get it.
No.
Toby Bishop is just going to wrap him up, and then 2 other Cougars just come in and clean up the job.
Yeah, that's
a
big play, man. That's what you needed.
And he had nowhere to go.
No.
Toby, those of you listening, Toby Bishop plays nose, and he's out there chasing the punter, and the punter's not slow himself.
Right. And, that's the thing. These boys are pretty quick, even the bigger boys. They're quick, and I'll give it to them. I tell you what, it's hotter tonight, and it's a physical game, and ever since that North game, I think they learned a little bit about make sure you're hydrated.
McMurray going to hand it off to
Johnson.
Corbin Johnson, and Corbin Johnson almost broke free. He got tripped up. He had one guy to beat, but just got tripped up from behind. And I know as a running back, like you said earlier, 3 seconds and it's over, but that's when you're beating yourself up because you were one guy away from a touchdown.
Yep. But then again, man, I get it, but you just now channel it in this play.
Yep.
Channel it in this run.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cougars. McMurray in the shotgun. He's going to motion Corbin Johnson over, get the pitch, and Corbin Johnson almost got horse collared there. Wow. And timeout here by the Cougars. Coach Martin wants to talk something over. It looks like he doesn't see something that's going on. Very good.
No. So we'll take a real quick break. 57 seconds left here in the second quarter. 25-0 South Decatur over Edinburgh.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary...
All right, back here at South Decatur High School, and the Cougars are still got the ball, and McMurray's going to pass it over to Rathburn, and Rathburn's just going to get hit out of bounds right at the sticks, and it looks like he's short.
Let's see what they're going to do.
All the Cougar coaching staff is looking around like, what's going on?
I don't know where he's at. No, it's first down.
That's a first down, fellas.
It will be good for a South Decatur first down.
Coach Martin would have been livid right there if that was not a first down. I mean, Colby got hit right at the stick, and he had the ball over the stick.
Yeah, well, that too, and it's they weren't moving the chains. But that's okay. They got it right. 38 seconds. Let's get something going here, boys. Let's put a score on the board.
So 1st and 10 for the Cougars here from the 16-yard line. Jalen McMurray going to take the snap from the gun with Corbin Johnson to his right, and it's a handoff to Corbin Johnson. He's got a hole right on the left side, and he's in for a South Decatur touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars!
So the Cougars do indeed get the ball back and score before the half ends here. That makes the score 31-0 with 20.5 to go in the half. And
you know, they got out to kind of a rocky start in the beginning, but South did with some, a few penalties. But man, they've come back. That score don't reflect it.
Yeah,
and they're doing well because they're staying with them. McKinley shook back, kicked the extra point. No, it was bobbled, brought over, fake, and intercepted.
Intercepted there. JP Scudder.
Man.
JP Scudder on the pass there, but it just intercepted in the end zone. He tried to get it to Alex Myers in the back of the end zone. So the score will remain the same. The Cougars 31, Edinburgh nothing. We got 20.5 on the game clock here before we reach halftime. And this has been an interesting game, to say the least, Jim.
Well, it is, and the score don't reflect it. Sorry, man, it's weird now. The sun's down a little bit. We got shade on us. You can actually see.
Yeah.
Sweat was pouring off. I felt like I was standing down there on the field, man. But anyway, yeah, the score don't reflect it, but I just, Edinburgh's down. They're down with their talent this year. They don't, and they have a young team. I believe, didn't Coach say that the other day when we interviewed him? So they got a young team too. So, I mean, you just give it some time. But I'm not taking away. South has been good, solid defense. They play great offense. Pick six like they had and all the other stuff. I mean, that's good. That's what you need. So, McKinley shook back to kick it off. 20 seconds left here in the first half. 31-0, South Decatur over Edinburgh. Kicks up, and it's caught. And they're going to lateral it back. And he is going to be tripped up and stopped and brought. We got a flag. For some reason, I don't know what's going on.
Number 10, Jackson Hartwell on the return. First tackle made on the play. Cougars number 31.
And like you said, I believe when we talked to Coach Martin at the junior high game.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Zach. I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to see if this ref Blagel blocking the back by Edinburgh. That's what it was. I knew this was going. And I guess that's what I was saying. Why would you even do that? Anyway, go ahead, Zach.
So looking at their roster here, it looks like they only have one senior on their football team, and the rest are sophomores, juniors, and about 3 freshmen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're young. I mean, they're a real young team. But so that's going to back up the Lancers to about the 11, 12-yard line. 9 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 from their own 12.
So looks like the Lancers are just going to knee it here to run timeout. And that is going to do it for the first half. South Decatur leads 31-0 here in the first half, and it's been an impressive show of offense and defense for the Cougars here this first half, and hopefully they keep it going.
Yep, and we'll take some time out here, and we'll be back for your Stones Farm Service halftime.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy-Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's used car superstore, Buy-Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg. Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, back here at South Decatur High School, and it is halftime here. Cougars lead 31-0. Our halftime sponsors, Stone's Farm Service, and we'll go through our other sponsors here: Gilliland Howell Funeral Home, Acre Automotive Group, Buy Right Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Walters Tire, Hamilton Tebby and Law Office, Cheer Block, Russ Hubler Ford, Levenstein's Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W.
Thank you to all our sponsors. Again, we don't have one for the third quarter, so anybody out there to be interested in sponsoring the third quarter for sports and broadcasting tonight, we'd appreciate it. Again, we'd like to thank everybody tuned in tonight here on WTRE, as well as WTRE.com, watching us online. Again, if you're just joining us, scores 31-0 at halftime here. The Cougars are leading the Edinburgh Lancers. You know, Zach, we talked a little bit about it in the beginning of the game, before the game, about how, penalties, South would have to watch penalties. In the beginning part of it, they came out, they held Edinburgh on their first drive, come back, scored, put 6 points up. Then they come back and they went back and forth, and you had Alex Myers with probably about a 75, 80-yard run, pick 6, takes it all the way back, scores a touchdown. And then from there, it's just hit and miss, and penalties have been a hindrance to Edinburgh, but also not taken away from the smash-mouth defense and offense the South's been bringing. And this is what Coach Martin had talked about wanting to do, and we're seeing it tonight. And, again, Edinburgh's a young team. They're growing, but still, there's some good players on their team, so it ain't taking away from nothing with what South is doing, because South is really doing a lot.
Yeah, and now that Coach Martin, I think, has found the identity he wanted, he's got the kids, it looks like tonight and last week, it looks like they're bought in, and the future of the program is really bright.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely bright. And I encourage all of you Cougar fans out there, if you can, on a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, go out and watch these elementary kids play. They are fun.
And when that's another thing, too, is that there's we do coming up September 16th. Everybody listen here. If you'd like to come out and watch, South Decatur is hosting that day of football, which is really neat to see because you get a lot of teams. You have Greensburg, Batesville, North Decatur, Connorsville, Rushville, Greenfield Central, and all those teams and all those people will be here to play. And they have games going all day long. They'll use the practice field. They'll use the regular field. And I encourage you, if you get a chance, come out and watch. Like we were talking earlier, starting that A team, which is 5th and 6th graders, they're 3-0 in their age group. I mean, really dominating, playing super well. I mean, it's fun to watch them at elementary. But then also you got your junior high team. And again, these are these kids that's come up that, you got Josh Wall, who is the coach for junior high. That's a good thing that him and Rodney and all of them are working together. And Josh has actually coached a lot of these boys when they were younger in youth age too. He's been around for a little bit. He coached you years ago too. But the thing is that helps out. Everybody's on the same program, everybody's the same plan. And as I stated earlier, look at the 4 defensive linemen offensive linemen that South's got, man. You got 4 boys in the 8th grade that combined weight's 800 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're big, and we've watched them. Now, I know we did broadcast the game against North Decatur. They didn't show up that night to play at all. Wasn't even the team we've seen, but if you'd like to watch them, make sure you tune in on September 20th. It's a home game. If you're able to come out and watch them. I think they play Edinburgh that night.
I believe so.
I think so. But anyway, that we'll be bringing you the junior high game just like this. And it will be hard to see, I will tell you, because the game started 6, sun up, kind of hard to see. So, but if you'd like to tune in and listen, even better, come out and watch them. They're really fun. There's a lot of future here at South Decatur with football coming up. I say you give the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to be doing well. Yeah. And there's a lot of underclassmen that are on this, or younger guys that are on this roster out here right now with South Decatur that are coming up. They're going to be players that's going to help out. J.P. Scudder's one of them to mention. You have Jaden Jackson Ray's another one. Yep. I mean, them 2 boys. They're how old is they're freshmen.
JP is a sophomore.
Or sophomore, I'm sorry, yeah. So there's a lot of promise here at South. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do, what they do, that kind of thing. Look like Ariola got his chin busted up, so they're trying to tape it to keep it from bleeding. That way he can still play because he wants to play. So. But, yeah, it's interesting to see what they're doing, the progress, and where we're at now. Edinburgh did come in tonight with 0-2 record. Cloverdale and remember who beat them the first game? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Really close games. It wasn't until towards the end of the game that the other team kind of pulled away. So we knew there was going to be that kind of a game tonight, Zach. And the other thing is South's 1-1. They got winded against North Decatur. They were outplayed as far as winded. They just did not have, the energy. But I'll tell you what. Then you look at the next week. They played Irvington Prep, not Indianapolis, but out of Indianapolis. And this is their second year for 11 man, so they were struggling a little bit. Still, South come out and played the same style of football that we're seeing tonight. And here they come out tonight against Edinburgh. And really doing well. So, Zach, 5 minutes to go before this game's scheduled to kick off, which South will start the second half of the ball. What's just some of your thoughts, man, from the game? And what do you think what do you think we got to do? What would you do right now? What do we got to do? I know the score's 31-0, but what would you do? What would you tell your team?
If I'm Coach Martin now, I'm in there. I'm saying, hey guys, we're up 31-0, second half. Limit our penalties. Let's execute, run our plays. Hold our blocks. If you need a breather, okay, we'll put somebody in for you. Mm-hmm. Get you a quick breather, go back in.
Right. And that's the nice part about having the lead you do, because you can do that. And even as a player and a coach, you're like, okay, can I switch out? Yeah. And even as a coach, you're okay with it because that's what you need to do. And you got to give these guys, it's still hot. It's still warm out there. So, I agree with you 100%. And I think we're going to see that a lot more again, and I'm excited to see what happens. Again, if South Decatur does score on this drive, that'll put the score above 35 points. So what that does, if those of you not familiar, the second half, it has to be in the second half, and a 35-point lead. If that occurs, then it's a continuous running clock the rest of the game. It doesn't matter if the opposing team comes up and puts 28 points up and it's 35-28, it's a continuous clock. Once it starts that way, that's the way it goes. So if South does that, then it'll be a whole different story. The game will go by a lot quicker. The clock continues to run, obviously. So
yeah.
But let's go ahead and take another commercial. We're at about 3 minutes to go, and we will go from there. Be right back.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana, and right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy-Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's Used Car Superstore, Buy-Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy-Right Auto, Greensburg's Used Car Superstore.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com. This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, we are back here at South Decatur to start the third quarter, and we do not have a third quarter sponsor, so if you would like to sponsor the third quarter, please let us know. We will be happy to put you down. So Cougars gonna get the ball here, and it's a little onside pooch kick here by the Lancers, and it's recovered by Gavin Maurer. So I don't know what the call is on the other side of the field, but I don't know if you do that to start a half.
That's what I was just getting ready to say, because he just gave them good foot unless they're wanting to score and then have a running clock. I mean, and sometimes you know how your team is, so you could make the call that's going to best benefit what your team needs.
So we got a 1st and 10 ball on the 44. And McMurray going to be in the backfield with Corbin Johnson right beside him. He's going to hand it to Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson's got a lane, and he's
going.
And we got a flag on the far side of the field, and it's going to be a block in the back. I saw that one happen, folks. And That one's coming back. And I believe that block in the back was on Tyler Bishop.
I don't know, but there was one right at the end, so let's see what they're going to do. I mean, I don't know what's going on here.
I mean, Corbin had all the green field ahead of him, and then they just kind of pushed him. And he had a touchdown on the play, folks, but it was brought back.
Yeah. The back called against the Cougars. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Cougars.
Actually, it was unsportsmanlike. It wasn't a block in the back.
No, the first one was a block in the back,
okay.
and then unsportsmanlike conduct, they called that on Bishop. He just told him number 11.
Okay.
You know, and that means he said something because that was after the play happened.
So that's a double whammy, and
I mean, dude, look at how far back you are. You are going to be first and forever, like you said the other day. I mean, literally.
So it's first
Good
and
grief.
It's about first and forever, like you said, like
27, 28 yards.
So McMurray going to get the ball from the gun here with Corbin Johnson to his right. He's going to give it to him, and he's just going to get wrapped up in the backfield. And you don't want those kind of double whammy plays where you have the block in the back and then the unsportsmanlike, and you're just so far behind the chains that it's
well,
tough.
and as a running back, it's hard. Yeah, he can bust through and move and do well, but, man, it's frustrating. It's hard.
I mean, especially when you know there's nobody ahead of you and you're walking into the touchdown.
Yeah, exactly.
So second and 29 here, and it looks like a Lancer lost his cleat there. Trying to get that put back on.
I know, but they'd already whistled start the clock and everything else. Everybody's coming one, and then
so second and 29 here for the Cougars. Ball on the 25. McMurray from the gun. Corbin Johnson to his left. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got Alex Myers on a deep route, and Alex Myers had it in and out of his hands.
Now we got a flag back here. Looks like it's going to be another block in the back.
Looks like Alex Myers tried to run the fade route there, and Jalen just tried to put touch on it and just didn't have enough juice behind it.
Called against the Cougars.
Here we go with the penalties, man. That's what we talked about. And it's what you don't want to happen.
Yeah. I mean, those of you listening on the radio here, I mean, the Cougars are literally almost on their 10-yard line. And
they originally started on the 44.
And that's not what you want if you're a head coach. If you're a head coach, you are fuming right now.
12 men on the field, declined. Block in the back has been accepted. Back the ball. More yardage. It'll be second down and long.
Second down and a mile here for the Cougars. I mean, I don't know what you draw up here, Jim.
I don't either, man. That's why I'm standing there watching what they're doing because it's kind of crazy.
I mean, yeah, you can give it to Corbin, but it's not guaranteed that he's going to get a first down.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. I mean, I don't know. That's why they were trying to pass. And, man, that was good effort by Alex Myers. I mean, what are we doing?
What's going on here, fellas? Looks like they played.
Correction on the field. Both of the penalties were declined.
So it's about
fourth down.
It will be third down and
or third
from the 25.
So third down and 39.
No, third down and 29.
Third down and 29 here for the Cougars, and
loose snap on the field, recovered by your
bad
Cougars.
snap there, and Jalen McMurray just had to fall on it. So that brings up fourth down and 20.
4 yardage on the play brings up fourth down and long.
So, yeah, fourth down and long here. And
Mariola's out there to.
you just gotta hate that. I mean, you had a running back that had a touchdown, and then you're all the way on the opposite side of the field because of penalties. Snap, kick is away by Ariola.
Very good.
He got it off the top of his foot and just shanked it, and it didn't even go past the 50-yard line.
That punt has no return.
So the Lancers
Edinburgh
are going to take over on their own side of the field here.
will get the
And
football back. It'll be first down and 10.
things not starting off very hot here for the Cougars to start the second half, and you got to think as a head coach, like what happened while we were not on the field.
Right. I don't know, man. This has been kind of weird start of the second half. I mean, they did, South just, I don't know what it was. But nevertheless, good field position for Edinburgh.
Lancers got to get a play off here quick. 1 second on the play clock.
Oh, my goodness.
And the quarterback is brought down by Tyler Bishop for about a 10-yard loss.
That's crazy. So it's like, it's just funny how they're going to, and to see how they're doing that.
Second down and 17.
So 2nd and 17 here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun, one back to the left, two receivers split to the left. There's going to be a handoff to the back, and he's swallowed up as soon as he gets the handoff.
Number 10.
Tyler Bishop and his little brother Toby take down the running back in the backfield.
Well, and the thing is, like that, I mean, this is good pound and ground defense, but you needed it earlier too, which they've done, but it's good to see them come back after what just happened. Somebody lit a spark, man, and that's what they're doing. I mean, South's pushing them back, but they're literally tackling them back down the field, not, penalties ain't what's hurting them, so.
So 3rd and 20 here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun once again, one back to the left again, fake to the back, and he's going to rear back and throw. And it's batted but caught by the wide receiver for the Lancers. J.P. Scudder just tried to bat it down so he couldn't get it. And there's a Cougar down on the field with cramps, and you see, I believe,
We have an injury on the field.
I believe it's cramps, and knock on wood, that's the first one that we've seen today.
Looks like a trainer coming over. We're going to take a real quick commercial break. It's 31-0. 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, back here at South Decatur. So the little things that happened while we were on commercial break was we had a roughing the passer call, and that brought the Lancers a little bit closer to the end zone here, and they're on the 5-yard line. So 1st and 10 here. Quarterback going to get the snap out of the gun, and he's going to try a little quick slant there in the end zone, and it's incomplete, just a little bit high.
Intended for number 5, Jared Myers brings up 2nd down.
That would have been nice, man, if you could have tipped it and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tipped it and caught it in the end zone, intercepted it.
And the Cougar that was down on that last play was Alex Myers.
I think it was just cramps.
I think I believe it's just cramps. got a trainer over here from Edinburgh that's stretching them out here. So second down here for the Lancers. Quarterback from the gun, one back to the left. Going to fake it to the back, and a back sideline fade, and it's caught for the touchdown. So that makes the score 31-6. The Cougars. And
we're going to go ahead.
You know, they've had the mentality the whole game, bend but don't break, but they finally broke. But, you know, it's inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen, and that's just nature of the beast, man. That's what happens. And now you got to try to protect here, keep them from scoring the extra point, and, you know, do something on the next play on offense, put some more points up.
So the Lancers going to go for two. Quarterback drops back. They're going to try the same play, and it's caught for a 2-point conversion. So that's going to make the score 31-8. South Decatur with the lead with 7:41 to go in the third quarter.
So we'll take a real quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg. Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4 ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
All right, back here at South Decatur High School, the Cougars lead Edinburgh 31-8 here, and the Lancers are going to do a little onside kick, and it barely got off the tee. So it's going to be a flag, and I believe they back them up. Because the rule is it's got to go 10 yards off the tee. Otherwise, I believe it is a flag.
Yeah.
The illegal procedure on the kickoff. Ball did not get 10 yards.
So they get the ball right there.
Yep.
They get the ball right there. It looks like it didn't even go. Man, that's what you don't want to happen if you're Edinburgh after having a play like they did, a touchdown like they did, a score. If you're just joining us, it's 31-8. South Decatur over Edinburgh with 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Joe McMurray going to get the snap out of the gun, hand off to Corbin Johnson. Corbin Johnson's got a lane and some blockers, and he cuts back, and Ian Amrine is there for the block.
Oh, he's going to outrun him.
He walks in for the touchdown. So as soon as Edinburgh goes down to score, the Cougars and Corbin Johnson answer right back with the touchdown of their own.
And a lot of that play, if you're watching on TV, or watching it online or whatever, and was able to see it, you can see there's a lot of movement. He had a lot of juking. He read the holes and where to go, because he ran it up the middle, but he still read the holes and anticipated that. That's just knowing the field and knowing and seeing it. And then once he got past, but I'll tell you what, down here he turned his gun. His legs on, boy. He was running. They're going to go for two here. Back to Corbin, and he's in for two.
He's in for two. So that's going to make the score South Decatur 39, Edinburgh 8 with 7:21 to go in the third quarter. And
we'll take this time to thank our sponsors real quick. Again, we don't have a third quarter sponsor, so anybody out there, business, anyone that would like to sponsor a third quarter for us, we'd greatly appreciate it. But we have our platinum sponsors, Gillen and Howe Funeral Home, Acre Automotive Group, Buy Right Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Trio sponsors, Walters Tire, Hamilton Tebby Law Office. Our cheer block is sponsored by Russ Huber Ford, Levenstein Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W. Thank you for sponsoring us tonight and allowing us to bring you this game. Anyone tuned in at home, just listening on the radio, driving down the road, thank you for listening. Again, good night. It was warm earlier on, but it's cooled off now. It's nice. And we're under the Friday night lights, man. So it's been a good game. We've seen some areas on both teams, but especially South. South has definitely improved.
Yeah.
From last year and all that to what it is. But there's still the faults, still the things that they need to do, but they just got to work on it, and that's all it is. So
right.
I don't know what's going on here.
And I just want to say to everybody watching that the score does not justify how hard Edinburgh is playing right now. I mean, the score is 39-8, but these boys are coming out here and they're trying to play head to toe with the Cougars.
I don't know what that discussion was about. So I don't know what's going on, but Coach is pulling all the players into a huddle that's on the sideline. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we can find out a little later on. That just seemed kind of weird.
Kinley Shook kicking off here for the Cougars. Caught by Lancer at about the 5. And he's got a little bit of green grass ahead of him, and he just gets laid out there by
Jaden Jackson Ray. And I'm telling you what, did he get laid out? He got laid out.
He did.
I mean, that was such a good hit.
And that kid's a freshman, so that'll be a name down the road for all you Cougar fans to.
And that's who we were talking about. Yeah, he's definitely definitely good, man. He's quick. Yeah, I mean, that was a hard lick.
And I had the opportunity to coach the kid for a year, and he's nicest kid, one of the nicest kids you ever meet.
Coachable kid.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. It always makes it easier when they're coachable, buddy.
So 1st and 10 here for the Lancers. Out of the gun, going to hand off to the running back, and he's swallowed up behind the line by Tyler Bishop once again. And I don't know what happened the last series, but now you look at it on defense, now they're just getting through. I don't know if Edinburgh's tired or they just had a spark lit under them and they wanted to go.
Yeah, I don't know. It is. I mean, they're definitely playing better now. For South, that's a good thing. Later on the game, but so you just got to, we just got to see what they're going to do. Hopefully, they can keep the momentum going. That's what you got to do.
So 2nd and 14 here for the Lancers. Going to go out of the gun, one back to the left. Fake the handoff to the running back, and the quarterback's scrambling around looking for somewhere to go, and he just throws it away on the sidelines. He had big Ian Amrine on his tail looking for the sack.
Well, Ariola was cutting across the field too anyway, man. I mean, he was definitely going to be there, that impact. So I think he kind of let up on his throw. He didn't throw it hard, and Alex Myers battling with cramps. So he's out of the game, which, you know what, that's okay. You got other players that you can do and move. So. Yep,
and speaking of the one that made the tackle on the kickoff, that's Jaden Jackson Ray back there playing safety now for the Cougars, comes in for Alex Myers.
And he's quick. I mean, that little fella, he's quick. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do.
So 3rd and 14 here for the Lancers. They're going to do a little screen pass, and it falls incomplete off of the receiver's hands. He jumped, and the ball was at his waist.
I don't know. They do. Edinburgh does look tired, man.
I mean, they got players walking off the field, guys. That is no lie. They are exhausted. They have about 6 subs on the sidelines.
All right, so they're down. Shotgun again. Oh, he called a timeout because the kid come running out on the field from Edinburgh over by South Decatur defenders running out there, and they're going to rock the ball. That wouldn't have been good. So 39-8, 6:15 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's Used Car Superstore, Buy Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's Used Car Superstore.
All right, back here at South Decatur High School, 6:15 in the third quarter. South Decatur leads 39-8. If you are just tuning in here, it's been a smooth sailing game as of so far.
Yeah, oh, it has. I mean, we definitely South ain't been down. There's been a lot of areas that I'm sure coach is frustrated with penalties, but all in all, they've done well. So, and we'll see what they're going to do.
So it looks like the Lancers are almost.
It's punted. Oh, my God, Rathburn.
And Kobe Rathburn.
What was he thinking? I mean, he about got killed.
All the coaches were yelling at him to get away from the ball, and he just ran toward it, and it touched him, so he had to drop on it.
Like, I don't know why he did that, but because, I mean, he got hit hard, but, it could have been a lot worse, too.
Yeah.
So South's going to take over. Murray comes out. Looks like you got – I was trying to see – is Corbin still in, or did they take him out?
I believe he's still in, yeah. I don't see him on the sideline.
No, there he is, yeah. He's still in back there with Bishop.
So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Cougars have the ball. Jalen McMurray in the gun. Handoff here to Corbin Johnson, and Corbin Johnson's got another lane with blockers, and he's wrestled down after about a 9-yard gain.
Coach is probably like, just put it in the end zone. Let's get this running clock going.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Because it's just one of those games where you don't want anybody else to get hurt.
No, right, exactly. And they're explosive now. I hate to be this way. Do I think they're explosive enough to come back and win the game? No. I mean, they're already tired and winded. But still, it's enough that you'd have to leave players in there, and you don't want to do that. You don't want them banged up. Next week they travel to Crawford County to play.
McMurray gets the snap, and it was a bad snap, and he gets brought down for a loss on the play. Looked like he wanted to hand it off, but it was just a bad snap at his ankles, and he just had to pick it up and go into scramble mode. So it's going to be about 3rd down and 11 here.
Bring up loss of 10 on the play, brings up 3rd down and 11.
And from the looks of it, I mean, the South Decatur boys don't look winded at all anymore. After watching them week 1 against North Decatur, they were gassed.
Oh, yeah. And actually, I mean, they even better than last week, and it was hot, too.
Yeah.
So
McMurray drops back to pass, winds it up, fires it deep for Campbell Johanneman. Campbell Johanneman catches it but loses it.
And it rolls out of
bounds in the end zone.
No, I think he caught it. He caught it and ran.
He definitely caught it and ran. So
What?
Was caught, number 9, Campbell Johanneman.
So they are going to give him the catch.
They ruled it was fumbled.
Yeah, we do apologize. If you hear anything like that does not reflect anything from Zach, myself, or WTRE. Some Edinburgh fans are riled up.
The ruling on the field is a touchback.
It is a touchback.
The ball was caught, fumbled,
So for those of you listening,
in the end zone. It will be a
Jalen
touchback
McMurray
turnover.
threw a pass to Campbell Johanneman. Campbell took a step or two, and he got hit, and the ball bobbled out of his hands and went out of the end zone. So that is considered a touchback. So that means Edinburgh takes over, and that's the drive killer that the Cougars didn't want.
Man, that's crazy.
So the Lancers here, 1st and 10 from the 20, from the shotgun here. And they're going to hand off to the back, and the back is swallowed up once again by Tyler Bishop. And I mean, not just taken down, he was slung down to the ground.
You know, and that's what you do right there. That happens, you come out and you do this.
Yeah. So it's going to be 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line. And looks like the Cougars are kind of upset about that play, so they're taking it out on the defensive end of the side of things here, and that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, you need that. You got to keep channeling that frustration, whatever it is, to keep making the right plays. So Edinburgh's in the shotgun position. Back, quarterback's got it. He's going to pass. Passes down the field looking for number 21, and it's caught. And he's ran out of bounds at about the 42, so that looks like that was 22-yard pass.
Yeah, and, you know, at this point in the game, it's okay, but you want to get the stops. You want them to be like, okay, like, we need the ball. Let's try to get as many possessions as we can here in the second half. So the Lancers, 1st and 10 here from the gun, and it's going to be a pass, and the quarterback almost got shoestringed by Tyler Bishop. And almost caught by 2 different Cougars, and Tyler Bishop is rolling on the ground in some pain here.
Where?
In the backfield.
Oh, back here. I didn't see him.
Yeah, he tried to shoestring tackle the quarterback, and he just fell over and was just grabbing his knee. That it can't be good. We hope it's not bad. We hope it's just a cramp.
Okay, I saw Colby Rathburn's down here too. Coach Martin, they're cramping up. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's cramps or what it is, but nevertheless, time stop. 39-8, 2:45 left in the third quarter. Yeah, he's up walking. I think it's just cramps. So
luckily it was not anything bad.
Yeah, right. So we'll see what they're going to do. So the ball's going to be on the 42. 2nd and 10. They got McMurray in here now too playing defense.
So the Lancers here are going to go out of the gun, one back to the left. Quarterback's going to drop back to pass. Got somebody wide open down the middle of the field, and it's caught. And he's brought down by Jaden Jackson Ray, but we do have a flag down in the middle of the field. Let's see all the Lancer kids just groaning and falling to the ground. Another big play with a costly penalty.
An eligible man downfield called against the
That stinks, man, for Edinburgh.
And that's one of those things. If you're an Edinburgh coach, you're like, guys, come on, like we need to get the ball down the field, get something positive out of the game so far.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to reel it in because, listen, it's when it gets in your mind and you get frustrated, man, that's what happens. And
so about 2nd and 15 here for the Lancers. Going to get the snap out of the gun. Quarterback's going to drop back to pass. Another guy wide open down the middle of the field, and it's caught. And he falls down after about a 15-yard pass here. So he's going to pick up the first down, and it's going to move the chains. So 1st and 10 here from the 43. And I don't know what's happening defensively here
I
for
don't
the
know.
Cougars.
I think they're just, I'll be honest, buddy, I think they're tired. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been playing Smash Mouth for a little bit, and I think they're just tired. So they're still holding strong, though. They're still doing all right. They're eating them up on the passing game.
Lancer's going to get the snap out of the gun, and they're going to pass again.
Ooh. Wow, look at the blitz.
And
Brought
Owen
down.
Areola just kicks it into fourth gear and tackles the quarterback.
That's crazy, man. He come all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, around the block with the center, around that whole area there in the backfield and gets him.
So 2nd and 13 here for the Lancers, and there's about 1:20 left to go here in the third quarter. And you'd think the Lancers maybe want to score again here and make the Cougars score at least 3 touchdowns, get a running clock. So the Lancer is going to take the ball from the gun. Quarterback's going to drop back to pass. He's getting rushed again, but there is a flag down, and he's going to just throw the ball away. And you see Toby Bishop
against Edinburgh.
Toby Bishop got up gimpy a little bit, but he was laying there for a minute because he was mad he didn't have the sack.
Tell you how much Ariel was laying it out there, bro. You got junior high coaches, Josh and all them out there with Areola. He's taped up under his chin. He's getting it on his wrist, had blood all over his arm. He's giving it his all out there, man. He likes it.
And that's what you like to see from a senior. Like
but it's enough that he's rushing them guys to get him taped up because he wants to get back out there.
And from a senior, all these underclassmen look at that and they're like, he's dedicated.
Yep.
So Lancer's going to get the ball from the gun here. Quarterback's going to drop the pass for a little wide receiver screen to the far side. And he's wrapped up by Ian Amrine, who comes out of his spot on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that'll be
no gain on the play.
No gain on the play, so 3rd and 23 here for the Lancers with 25 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
It's just, and they're going to take their time coming up, maybe snap it one play before the end of the quarter, which is what looks like they're going to do. Back in the shotgun. They got it off to the side, and here is Rathburn missed the tackle. Oh, man, Amrine. McMurray right there with Corbin Johnson, but we got a flag flying in. But I don't think it's going to go against South.
There's a flag on the play to end the third quarter.
We'll see what they're going to call. Oh, it is. Personal foul against the Cougars. So it'll be 15 yards, so that'll take them up. We'll see, where it's at. So we'll take a real quick break. 39-8, the end of the third quarter. We'll be right back.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
All right, back here at South Decatur for the start of the fourth quarter, and our fourth quarter sponsor tonight is Napoleon State Bank. Thank you for all that you do for the community. So, fourth quarter here, Cougars lead 39-8, and Edinburgh is going to look to pass here on third down, and it is caught.
Still caught, and they're going to run it in for a touchdown.
And it's going to be a touchdown here for the Lancers. And they're just, to me, it seems like they're just trying to make it to where South Decatur can't get a running clock on them.
I don't know who we have down out here. These boys and their cramps, here we go again. What we saw at North. 3 seconds off the clock on that. And right here to start the fourth quarter, Edinburgh did score a touchdown. Go over our sponsors all together. We have Gillen and Howe Funeral Home. We have Acre Automotive Group, Buy Ride Auto, Decatur County Recycling, Batesville, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep.
Walters Tire, Hamilton and Tebby Law Office, Russ Hubler Ford, Levenstein's Abbey Carpet, Fleetwood Chevrolet, and Fry's A&W.
And that, you know, tonight's game, it looks one-sided, and it really hasn't. I think the biggest thing for both squads, but really more with Edinburgh, has been penalties. That's really hurt both teams, but I tell you, it's hurt Edinburgh quite a bit. Now, that's not to take away from the pass, the pick six by Alex Meyer in the first part of the first half, and not to take away from the runs that Corbin Johnson's ran in. I mean, he would have had another touchdown on top of that, but it got called back due to a penalty. So, it's one of them things, man, and they're doing. The score don't really show it, but 39-14, it's a decent game, but I will give it to Edinburgh. They haven't give up, and what's worked for them more than anything is their passing game.
Yeah, and from what we can see here is that's the struggle tonight here for the Cougars is the pass game of the Lancers, and their quarterback's going to drop back to pass, and he just rockets it to the corner. So 2-point conversion is no good. So that makes the score now South Decatur 39, Edinburgh 14, with 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter.
We'll see how quick they can keep this going, man. Sometimes these games can drag out a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like it gets frustrating, and then it's like, man. I mean, it's frustrating for either team, but Edinburgh ain't showed no signs of slowing down either. I can tell you that.
No.
And definitely they had that mentality, coming out that, for one, we ain't going to get shut out. And then what do we got to lose, boys? Let's put some points up on the board, and they have. 39-14. They've done a lot of it. They did it right before the halftime, and then come out 3 seconds start a fourth quarter, and 3 seconds into the fourth quarter, and you score another touchdown. So
yeah, and just like we've said before, those of you watching, those of you tuned in, wherever you're at, listening on the radio, the score does not justify how hard that Edinburgh is playing. These boys are giving it 110%.
But on the positive side for South, man, for us, that's good. You know what I mean? Because they still are, and that is your score. So, I mean, that's the positive thing about it. And that's what, as a coach, you want to see, too. You want to see your guys never quit and keep going and doing.
So Edinburgh's going to kick off here, back deep for the Cougars. Looks like we got Colby Rathburn and Owen Areola. The kick is away, and looks like Rathburn's going to control it here. He's going to take off, and he's got green grass ahead of him down the sidelines here. And he's going to turn on the Jets, and he is going to score. That is a touchdown for the Cougars on the kickoff.
And then you know what? That was good effort. Number 10 for Edinburgh, man. He was coming up behind him hot.
Yeah. And it looks like in the end zone there, Colby reached down. It looked like he was his hamstrings were starting to tighten up, so he tried to get a little stretch out there. I mean, dealing with cramps and then to run that kickoff like that, I guarantee you his his hamstrings are starting to tighten up.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely, man, definitely sore. 45-14, man, this is what you want to see when you're a Cougar fan, for sure, no matter what. It's a lot different than what we've had in the past, and it's nice. It's nice to see that turnaround. It's good to be on this side of the score.
Absolutely, and, you know, these boys put in a lot of work. I mean, they start in March and go all the way till football season.
Yeah. And the cool thing is they start with the younger kids, too.
The kick is up and good by McKinley Shook, so that makes the score 46 South Decatur, 14 Edinburgh, with 11:45 to go in the fourth quarter. And like I said, I mean, you just seeing the improvement of this team and the improvement all across the board for South Decatur, it's eye-opening.
It is. And I mean, from where they were before to what they are now, you know what I mean? It's fun to watch. It's exciting. And you know that, and knowing, too, that it's only going to improve the next few years after that is even better. It makes it more exciting and fun.
And it does look here tonight that Coach Martin does have these kids bought into what he wants to do.
And that's what you got to do. If you're not bought into it, it ain't going to matter. And that's the nice part about it. And it's just a different team than what we've seen in the past. And I like it. I like what we're seeing and what's going on. So Shook's back to kick it off.
Kick is up and going to drop in front of the two returners for Edinburgh, and it's bobbled, still bobbled.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was almost recovered by the Cougars.
The kickoff return.
Looks like Gavin Maurer almost got in on the play to recover that bobble.
It'll be first and 10 for the Lancers.
So first and 10 for the Lancers.
20.
Ball on their own 20-yard line here, and looks like we got one substitution in on the defense. Gavin Maurer coming in to play linebacker here for the Cougars. And we have Garrett Huckleberry playing at corner over here on the close sideline. Lancer is going to go out of the gun here. Quarterback drops back, launches one downfield, and
they're going to call that a catch.
It's caught. Wow. That was an impressive catch. He caught that almost behind his helmet.
Number 21, Connor Ramey. That reception good for a Lancer first.
So it looks like
near midfield,
first and 10 here from about midfield here for the Lancers. Quarterback going to drop back to pass once again. Scrambling. He's got Tyler Bishop on his tail, and he just throws it out of bounds.
Well, you know, that was good. That was a smart play. At least he didn't just bulldog tackle him down. You know, Bishop, he just kind of gave him a little push, so forced him to throw it out of bounds. But the bad part is when you get this like this, incomplete passes, what's that do?
Stop the clock.
Prolongs the game.
So second and 10 here for the Lancers. Ball on the 48-yard line. Going to go out of the gun. Two receivers split to the left and right. One back in the backfield to the left of the quarterback. He's going to drop back to pass again. He's going to scramble, and he's got a guy right down the middle of the field. He ran an out route and came back into the middle of the field, and it was wide open, and he just laid in there for the catch.
Third down.
So tonight it looks like the Achilles heel for the Cougars is definitely the pass game.
Yeah. Well, but in the past, I think if you had Alex Meyer that could run and do that, that's why they're eating it up, because they know he's hurt with his hamstrings.
And
Joe Hanningman looked like it was right to him. I don't know why. it didn't look like he really put forth an effort to try to catch that. Intercepted, I should say.
For number 21, Connor Ramey.
So that's going to be 4th and 3 here for the Lancers. We're going to see what they do here. Maybe their coach goes gutsy here and tries to pick up a 4th down conversion.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle this. And they've really done well, even as much as with the penalties, and like we've said numerous times. And it's I don't know.
So looks like my prediction was correct. They are going to go for it on 4th and 3 here. Going to go out of the gun. And it's going to be a blitz, and Isaac Gasper almost had him in the backfield.
Nope, first down.
He gets the first down carrying Toby Bishop on his back and runs through 2 more Cougar defenders. And we got a timeout here. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy-Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's used car superstore, Buy-Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy-Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore.
All right, back here at South Decatur, Lancers take over, and right off the bat, they go little trick play here, and it's incomplete. Quarterback passed it to the wide receiver behind the line of scrimmage, and the wide receiver threw it downfield, but just went off the other one's hands.
Yeah, and J.P. Scudder about got beat.
Bennett's throw incomplete, intended for number 21, Connor Ramey. 2nd down and 10.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Lancers. Ball on the 40-yard line. And they're battling until all 3 zeros hit the scoreboard here. And I'll give them credit.
Well, they're not stopping. They're still trying anything. I mean, you just tried a trick play and almost got a touchdown on it. So you keep pushing, you keep doing what you're doing.
Lancer's going to get the ball. Quarterback going to throw here into a crowd of Cougars.
Well, and what's goofy is you got McMurray and Rathburn are just trying to tip it out of the air. Catch that ball, man. Intercepted. They both were capable to.
It looked like Jalen had both hands up, and Colby came over and just batted it away. And I saw Jalen point at Colby, and he's probably like, bro, I had the pick.
Right. And that's where you're trying at that moment to put yourself in the right position to make the right play. But you don't know what's going on behind you or beside you if you can't see it. So it makes it tough.
Yeah. So 3rd and 10 here for the Lancers. Ball on the 40-yard line, and that last play is Jalen obviously wants that back, but it's one of those plays you got to move on, and maybe you get another opportunity right here or a couple of plays down the road. So Lancer's going to come out of the gun here, and 2 receivers split to both ends, one back in the backfield. Quarterback's going to get the snap and hand off to the back. And we haven't seen a run in a long time, and the Cougars are caught off guard. And the Lancers finally brought down after about an 11-yard gain, but there is 2 flags down close to the South Decatur sideline.
Well, and here you go. So here's what's just happened. I don't think you saw it. Number 8 come over and hit and hit Corbin like he was blocking him. And, I mean, all the way from across the field, 73, Bishop, come all the way across the field. And, I mean, dude hit him hard. Like, literally, it was uncalled for. That was ridiculous. It should never have happened. You don't hit somebody like that. I get you're a good player, but you don't do that. That's not the way you play the game. And as you can tell, if you're able to watch at home, over on the bench is Bishop, because coach told him, sit down. You know, you can't do those things, man. I get it's a physical sport, but look what you just did.
Yeah. So that costly penalty is going to move the Lancers up to about the 12-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 here. They're going to take the snap from the gun, 4 wide receivers, quarterback scrambling. He's got 3 Cougars on his tail, and it's thrown up and picked off in the end zone by
Rathburn.
Colby Rathburn, and he jumps about 4 foot in the air to catch that ball. And, you know, him jumping that high, good thing he corralled it with both hands and came down and still had possession.
Number 30, Colby Rathburn on the interception. Interception was in the end zone. It will be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10.
You know, to go back to that, I get you're protecting your player. You're protecting your upperclassmen. You're protecting your star running back. But Corbin Johnson was up quicker than the kid pushed him down. I mean, and that's what you got to think and take into consideration. And even after he was already up, he didn't let up. He still ran. I'm talking, but he ran from the the midfield all the way across here to the sideline and pushed him right in front of a ref. It's handed off to Johnson, and he's breaking around, and they're going to bring him down right here in front of the bench.
And you can, those of you tuned in, listening on the radio, you can't tell, but Edinburgh is getting a little chippy.
They are, and now it's pushing in, and then it's getting in their head. And look, South just had a holding penalty called against them. So that's where South's got to not let it. I mean, let's face it, man. They're going to win this game. So don't allow yourself to get to that point. And again, I get it. It's a physical, barbaric sport. That's the game of football. But it's also a mental game. Not just a physical game, but a mental game. And they got to stay in it, man.
So it looks like there was a penalty on the play there, so it backs the Cougars up once again. So it is 1st and 14, ball on the 16-yard line. McMurray from the gun. Hand off to Corbin Johnson again. Corbin Johnson's got some room and a blocker. And Corbin Johnson is going to take it all the way for a touchdown. So if you're a head coach, that's what you like to see. You had the penalty, and then your running back just comes out and takes all his anger out on a really long touchdown.
And the funny thing is the guy that he had just outran all the way back for touchdowns, the same guy that hit him and knocked him down, which caused Bishop to get that penalty. And that's what I mean. That's what Corbin Johnson did. He channeled it to the field, channeled it and run, and he just ran it 70 yards. And I mean, dude, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and once again, those of you listening on the radio, you couldn't see it, but Corbin Johnson literally slowed his brakes down about the 10-yard line and just looked at the kid.
And now we're at a running clock, I believe.
Yes.
So with them being at a running clock, with it 52-14, 7:31 to go.
Kick is
no good.
No good.
That's all right.
So running clock here in the 4th quarter. The Cougars are leading here 52-14. And I think this is what they wanted about the 3rd quarter, was the running clock when they were already up. But then they had those couple of drives where Edinburgh had everything going their way, and they scored 2 possessions. And now you finally got them back, and you got the running clock.
Well, and that's what you want to do. They were trying to get to the running clock, but they just couldn't. They'd have a penalty or they'd have something happen. And it's like it just seemed they'd shoot themselves in the foot. And you finally got it. You're finally doing what you need to do. And that's where you're at now. Now the clock's running, and get this game over with.
Yeah.
Before anybody gets hurt. Because like you stated earlier, that's not what you want. So
And
so it's nice to see how they've played. Again, they've improved so much from last year, so which makes it nice, So I think that this is nothing but promising for the Cougars. McKinley shook back to kick it off.
so from the time that McKinley kicked that field goal to the kickoff, it's already 5:44 to go in the fourth quarter. Kicks up, caught by a Lancer at about the 20. Gonna try to cut toward his own sideline, and Tyler Bishop just picks him up and wraps him back down at the 20. But they'll probably give him forward progress.
Lancers will have the football. 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 here for the Lancers.
Ball on their own 26.
Ball on the 26-yard line. And now you got to think Coach Martin's going to rotate in some subs, and I do see some coming in here. Looks like we got 20, Kagan Wren, 40, Josh Winkler, JP Scudder's in, Jaden Jackson Ray, Braden Meadows, and a few others are in here. Edinburgh going to drop back to pass, quarterback under pressure, and he's got a whole house of Cougars on him, and he just runs out of bounds.
Number 18.
I believe he picked up the first down.
Caleb Murphy on the carry. Quarterback keeper ran out of bounds.
So once again, running clock here. So even if the Lancers go out of bounds, the clock is still going to run.
Yeah, no matter what. Which literally, so 5 minutes, it should only take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's with what they're doing now, but 52-14, 4:09. So the clock, like you stated, continues to keep going. So it's got the ball's at 2nd and 5, ball's on 31. Lancers shotgun. Back, it's handed off to number 13 for the Lancers. And there's a bunch of Cougars there. He's still up, but they're going to bring him down. Yeah, he ain't going to get past it. I mean, you got 54 for Edinburgh. It's starting to get real chippy, like you said. They just, what he should have been unsportsmanlike, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's the end of the game, but still, as a player, it frustrates you when they're calling it on your team and then they don't,
So Lancers going to get the ball, shotgun, quarterback's going to drop back to pass. 2 guys downfield, and it's just over their heads. And that was 52 Wyatt Masters that tried to get back there to pick that ball off. And I like this defense. I mean, you mixed in some guys that have played varsity, and then you got some kids out there that haven't really got to play varsity yet, and they're not playing too bad.
No. Well, I mean, they ain't, but some of them have played a little bit more. But, yeah, they're getting that opportunity now. They're doing well. They're back to pass over the side of number 8, and he's going to be brought down.
Garrett Huckleberry.
Is that Huckleberry that got him?
Garrett Huckleberry.
Little guy, man.
Garrett Huckleberry just held on to his leg and just spun around on him.
Wow. So Connorsville beat Greensburg tonight 41-14.
Wow.
Oh, man, that would have been a heck of a catch if he'd have caught that.
Yeah. So Edinburgh's pass falls incomplete. It was a jumping attempt by number 10 for Edinburgh, but he just couldn't hold on to it, and Josh Winkler was in the vicinity to scare him a little bit on that catch.
Yeah, so, and I mean, the clock's just ticking away. They're just kind of going with it.
So you got 4th and 1, and obviously they're going to go for it. I mean, it's the final minute of the game, and they just want to try to get something here. So Lancer's going to hand off here.
First down.
Wide open lane, number 13, and he's just going to dive forward, but they may get off one more play. We got a minute 3 to go here in the fourth quarter. Now we are under 1 minute. So Lancer's going to take the ball out of the gun here. Quarterback's going to drop back to pass. And he throws into a whole host of Cougars, and it just falls incomplete. The clock is just ticking away. 40 seconds to go here in the game. Lancer is going to try to get off another play here. Quarterback going to drop back to pass. Once again, scanning the field, finds a guy wide open, and he just drops it incomplete. That may be the final play of the game. And I believe that's going to be the final play of the game. The Lancers are, no. Yep, that'll be the final play of the game. The Lancers are walking toward their sideline.
And this one is over.
So, final score here from Ralph Scheibel Field at South Decatur High School. Your Cougars 52, Edinburgh 14.
We'll be right back.
Make this the summer event with a new 2023 Jeep or new 2023 Ram truck from Acre Automotive. Right now, choose from a big selection of new 2023 Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees, Wranglers, Gladiators, or Wagoneers. Or if you're thinking truck, Acres have a nice selection of new 2023 Ram half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton trucks. See Kevin Milburn, Josh Camplain, Tony DiLoretto, or Dan Rubel at Acre Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, 1407 North Lincoln in Greensburg.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
This is Michelle Galk with Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep. With over 30 years of experience in the car business, we know the key to success is providing superior customer service before and after the sale. At Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep, service is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. We have a trained, low-pressure sales staff ready to serve you. We have a service department with Chrysler-certified technicians with years of experience and all the latest diagnostic equipment. Service before and after the sale. Why go anywhere else? Please visit us at Batesville Chrysler Dodge Jeep or online 24 hours a day at BatesvilleChryslerDodgeJeep.com.
Sports are being brought to you in part by Chris Tebby with Hamilton and Tebby Law Office in Greensburg. Hamilton and Tebby specialize in business, estate, and family law, criminal defense, guardianships, wills, trusts, and more. Hamilton and Tebby Law Office is located at 117 South Broadway in Greensburg. If the ball's in your court, call 812-663-4082 about their legal services today.
Striving to be the best in the classroom or in their sport makes up a student athlete. Buy Right Auto has the same goals. Treating our guests to the best buying experience is the goal line. Beat the buzzer and come to Greensburg's used car superstore, Buy Right Auto, 920 North Michigan Avenue. Experience the great service from our team. Can't make it in? Call in your play to 812-662-9922. Buy Right Auto, Greensburg's used car superstore.
Decatur County Recycling. Do you have a question about recycling?
How do I dispose of sharps? Can glass and plastic bottles be recycled? How do I dispose of tires and household hazardous waste? Is there somewhere I can take my recyclables? Those are questions for Decatur County Recycling. You can find more online at www.decaturcountysolidwaste.com. Decatur County Recycling, assisting the community in reducing the amount of material taken to the landfill.
Walters Tire services all of southeastern Indiana. And right now, Through September 30th, you can get $200 back in rebate savings on the purchase of 4 select Goodyear or Kelly tires when you use your Goodyear credit card. Walters Tire at 220 West Main in Greensburg.
We all make preparations for our family's well-being in case of an accident or job loss, but it's just as important to plan ahead for the inevitable, to record and communicate our end-of-life wishes to help ease the stress and emotional burden on our families. Helping our neighbors plan ahead with no cost or obligation is what Gilliland Howe Funeral Home does best. Planning your own funeral arrangements in advance is one of the greatest gifts you can give your loved ones. It can help eliminate guesswork for your family, and with our complimentary assistance, it's actually very simple to do. Give us a call at Gilliland Howe Funeral Home, 812-663-8341.
All right, welcome back here to South Decatur High School, where your South Decatur Cougars are victorious over the Edinburgh Lancers, 52-14. The score don't reflect, man. I mean, don't get me wrong, Zach. I think South has improved so much from last year, and they're buying into what Coach Martin has talked about, preached, and wanted them to do, which is awesome because they're able to do that. But the big thing is they still got to play this kind of style of football, that punch mouth football, that drive and hard hitting and the things that they got to do. Because if they don't, I think it's going to affect them because it's going to affect the style of play that they have and what they do. So we'd like to thank all the sponsors and thank everyone that's listened, tuned in. I know it is later, so I know we probably won't get to talk to Coach Martin. I believe they have the coaches show tomorrow morning. Yeah. So make sure you tune in. I believe it's at 8 a.m. on WTRE. And you'll be able to hear from him and other coaches. I do know the score I don't know North Decatur. I do know Greensburg lost to Connorsville 42-14, I believe it was, the final score. So some big games and big numbers have been put up tonight. And South has scored over 100 points in the last 2 games. Yeah. So, I mean, they've done really well. And we'll see what they do. Next week they travel to Crawford County. See how it goes. Last year they did win. And do that. I'm sorry, I spoke wrong. Coach's show is at 6 on Wednesdays. I do apologize. That did get changed. I didn't realize that. So 6 o'clock on Wednesday nights. So make sure you tune into that. You'll be able to hear Coach Martin, what he's got to say. I didn't know. It looked like I thought he was about done. So I was going to wait a second. But, Zach, what do you think? What's your take on it, buddy, from tonight?
I think really the only downside is the penalties, the costly penalties, and then working on the pass game a little bit, because when Alex Myers went out, everything kind of shifted, and Edinburgh was just throwing the ball left and right, and then the subs came in, and then they just snuck that one run play in because all they've seen was pass. Yeah. So I think this coaching staff will come back, look at the film, and they'll say, okay, I like the way we played offensively. Defensively, we need to work on a little bit of passing game and see if we can tune that up for next week. Because I'm not for sure last year if Crawford County really passed the ball much because they had that big running back.
Right, and they ran a lot more than they did pass. I remember that game here, but yeah. So I mean, it's still going to be interesting to see this. Again, this is a much improved South Decatur, football team, and again, they got a lot of promise coming up into the future. So I guess that'll probably wrap it up for us tonight. So for Zach Weddle and Jim Wall, thank you for listening, tuning in. Again, the final score here at South Decatur High School is your South Decatur Cougars 52, the visiting Edinburgh Lancers 14. And we hope you all have a good, safe holiday weekend and tune in